All right, here we are, week 4, day 1, homework 2-1, and we're going to be finding the perimeter and area of each of these rectangles and squares. We're going to work on this, and then next week you guys have candy math, and you also have some math about more area and shape, and then we can start working on designing our homes. All right, perfect. Um, we are going to do perimeter. Perimeter is the area of the space around. So it's actually written in centimeters. So when you do area though, your answer needs to be in centimeters squared. That means we're multiplying. And when you see this number up here, it doesn't mean if I square a number, we would be multiplying it by itself. But since we're squaring the unit, it says that that lets somebody know that you're talking about the area of that shape. So here we have centimeters again, so we're going to write centimeters for perimeter. And for the area, we're going to do centimeters squared here. Here we also have centimeters, so I'm going to put the same thing for my units of measurement here. On the state test or on the class test, if you do not put squared for area or not squared for perimeter, you would get them wrong. Volume, just in case you wanted to know, if they asked for volume, it would be centimeters cubed. Here for this area, we're going to be using the 2 measurements. For volume, you actually use 3. Even though what kids get stuck on is perimeter, they're like, well, you use all of this. It's like, well, this is just letting you know it's like one line. So it really is one line that you're measuring all the way around, and here you have to multiply it out to figure out the space in the middle. All right, so let's get started. So this first one for perimeter, we have to count every one on each side. So how I do that is I just do a line through each section. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So by adding them going all the way around, I end up with 16. So I'm going to write 16 here. I will show you, there is a equation that you can use to figure this out. It's 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And someone asked last time, what does this dot mean? Why do they keep using a dot? That just means multiply. It's the same as a star means multiply is the same as an X means to multiply. It's the same as if you put 2L plus 2W. You don't actually have to have a times symbol. If is the only function that if you don't have a symbol, it means to multiply. So here I put 2, I could put 2 times 3 is 6, plus 5 times 2 is 10, which 10 plus 6 is 16. So we get 16 centimeters. Now for the area, you multiply the length times the width. So it's length times width for area, and that would be 5 times 3 equals 15 centimeters squared. Next, 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is, or sorry, we're doing perimeter first. So we got to add 3 all the way around. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 3 is 9 plus 3 is 12. So you could do that. Could add it all the way around. Or, so we know it's 12 centimeters. Or you could do 2 times 3 plus 2 times 3, which is 6 plus 6 equals 12. Okay, now area is length times width. So again, length times width for the area is 3 times 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. Next, we have 5 centimeters and 8 centimeters. So if we're going perimeter, we can do 2 times 8 plus 2 times 5. And remember, we're getting this number because there's a 5 here and there's a 5 here. You could also just say 8 plus 8 plus 5 plus 5. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. They sometimes will ask you an equation for it, and the equation would be the 2L plus 2W equals your perimeter, which actually I don't ever find worth anything, because most of the time your perimeter, like if you think about, so if I think about my house has like a porch and a deck, so you can't really do the perimeter is just the length plus, you would actually have to go through and add it all up. So I don't necessarily always find 2L plus 2W very, not a lot of things in this world are very rectangular like this. Even my room is not that way. It actually has an angle in the side of it, which is weird, but whatever. Anyway, next we would add 16 plus 10, so we would have 2 times 8 is 16, or 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 5 plus 5 is, or 2 times 5 is 10, and what's 16 plus 10? 26. Next, area. Area is much easier. Length times width. Even in a situation like this, you just break them up into chunks. So find out what those are. So here it's 8 times 5. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 5 is 40 centimeters. So here, most of our smaller ones, our perimeter is much bigger. But in our bigger one, our area is much bigger than our perimeter. Okay, next one. This one is different, and this is the one that we'll have modeled in class. It says, find the unknown side length. So we know what the area is. So the opposite, here we were multiplying, now we need to divide. So now here, I'm going to skip count by 6s till I get to 18. 6, 12, 18. So I have 3 groups of 6. So my base would be 3, and since they're common units of measurement, 3 centimeters. Next one. Area, 14 centimeters squared, and I have 7 centimeters long. So I'm looking for this side. So how many times does 7 go into 14? So, or 14 divided by 7. Oops, I just wrote the answer. Sorry. It's twice. 7, 14. 2 times. So my answer would be 2. And remember, this would be like the perimeter. Centimeters, not squared or anything, just centimeters. Next one over here. Now here, we don't know either of the sides, and you would think there's no way to do it, except for if you know the factors of 49, the only 2 numbers that make up 49 are 2 prime numbers, which is actually 1 prime number, because they're the same. So you know that you can just think about what numbers equal each other. And if you don't know your math facts very well, I'm going to show you this handy dandy little cheat, like way to check. You can go look on here, find the number 49 right here, and go 7 times 7 is 49. So I would put 7 centimeters. Yeah, use your resources. That's a great tool. You can't really divide, so, and you could also look too, if they're both the same number, you could have just randomly started dividing, but I would rather use my book. All right. Kaya is wallpapering one wall of her room. The wall is 10 feet long and 8 feet tall. How many square feet of wallpaper does she need? So she's trying to fill up the area of her wall. So it's a 10 by 8 foot. And so we are going to do 10 times 8 feet, which is 80. And because it's feet and we're doing area, we would need to do squared, just like pretend this was a wall. So squared. And remember, not squaring the number, you're squaring the unit. Totally different. Mia's room is 12 feet long and 10 feet wide. Ooh, the haves and the have-nots. I would like a bigger room, please. She wants to put a border up at the top of her wall. First of all, both of these people should never be allowed to wallpaper because they've clearly never had to take it off or put it up. Anyway, she wants to put a border at the top of a wall. Done this, nightmare, don't do it. How many feet of the border does she need? So she wants to do the perimeter. So she has 12 on the top, plus 12 on the other side, plus 10, plus 10. So 12 and 12 is 24, 34, 44. So she needs 44 feet of border, not squared, just feet. And again, she really should check with her parents. The fact that they are even letting her do this is insane. Maybe she's an adult, but she clearly has not taken it down or put it in a nightmare. Don't do it. Next, a rectangular wall measures 15 feet long on the floor. 15 feet long along the floor. The area of the wall is 180 feet. What is the height of the wall? So, first of all, if it's an actual regular room, everybody pretty much should know that the average height of a ceiling is 8 feet. So let's pretend we don't know that, or pretend that this is not true in this case. So we know that we have 180 feet, and we are going to have to divide it by the 15 feet that are left. So I would take my calculator and put 180 divided by 15. Which gets you a 12-foot high ceiling, which lets you know, FYI, that this is not your regular house. So, yeah, I don't think ours are. I think ours is definitely 8 feet. Oh, some of them could be 10, depending on. But anyway, she has high ceilings. Good for her. All right, next. Corey is tilling a rectangular bathroom. What? No, sorry. Corey's tiling a rectangular bathroom that is 6 feet by 8 feet. Each tile covers 2 feet. How many tiles will he need? Well, obviously, they're going to need more feet, more, anyway, they're gonna have 2 feet, so it'll be half. So 6 times 8 equals 48. And now I need half of this. So I'm going to take 48, because each tile is, instead of just being 1 foot by 1 foot, it's going to be 2 feet. So I'm going to take 48 divided by 2. Again, you should really talk to the people at Home Depot about this. They will definitely give you that answer. 2 goes into 48 24 times. So she will need 24 tiles total. They don't usually sell tiles by singles, but you never know. Maybe she's lucky. All right, there you go.